Hello, welcome to CarCast. I'm Matt the Motivator DeAndre. I'm here with Bill Goldberg.
Coming to you from Alaska.
It seems that way. I
Hey,
know
one day it's 20, the next day it's 70. Nobody can explain this to me. I don't get it. Is it
it's
global warming? Is it just because of the proximity I am in the country? I don't know, but frick.
I know it's a handful. We were just talking about it a minute ago. I mean, you're here, you're in the garage, so you're not in the house right now. You're still in the garage. You're in the podcast studio, so you got a little bit of I don't know if a break, but or just a way to get from the house to the garage, and yeah, it's starting to ice up a little bit out there
Oh
now.
no, that's it. That's all of it melting.
Yeah.
That's all of it melting. It iced up around the garage so badly. I don't know. I spent about an hour drifting in my six wheeler. Just
Not
just for
intentionally.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Um,
it's been interesting
I
for sure.
I know this is always like you have to get into this and prep more than usual because everybody has their things that, the shoveling the snow and digging the cars out. And I talked to when Aaron Hagar was in Tahoe and he finally just moved out. He's been there for, I don't know, 20 years, 18 years or something. And and I guess he had to keep one of his cars or two of his cars in his shop that had cars outside. And he goes, every day I got to go and get all the snow off because if it piles up and ices, it dents the hoods, it dents that like this is like cracks glass, like all of this crazy stuff. So luckily you've got the garage where you can keep everything inside, but you guys have this beautiful ranch with all of these animals and not all of the animals are winter animals. It's not a ranch
Yeah, I
full of
mean,
huskies.
yeah, I can make light of it. I can joke and all, but it sucks. I mean, in a microcosm. We had a baby sheep born right the
Mhm.
first day of the freeze. Um, it's wild, so you're not going to grab it unless it's right next to you. You're not going to be able to go grab it and make sure that it's warm and safe when it gets down to 15 degrees that night. So it's out on its own, with the pack of sheep, and it survived the 3 day freeze that we had. And Wanda goes to the barn last night and sees two foxes run right through the sheep, right? So I mean, their main target is that baby.
Yeah.
And she's like, Jesus Christ, I'm not letting this baby live through this storm and then get eaten by a fox. So I go hunting until 1 o'clock in the morning last night. It's only 15 degrees outside. I didn't get anything. I saw two foxes, but it's I'm looking across the road here. We made a shelter right in the middle of day two of this ice storm. We made a shelter for the llamas. Now, what are you going to put a llama on a leash and drag him over there? It's not, I mean, it's doable, but
Yeah.
it's not the easiest thing in the world. So we tried to lasso the damn thing. It didn't work. And then we built the shelter in 24 hours. Nothing sits in the shelter. So you're like, oh, Jesus, I put all this time and effort into it. Well, bing, bang, boom. Yesterday, I'm driving. All of a sudden, the llamas are in the shelter. The fact is that you can do all the prepping that you can to prepare, but you're never really prepared.
Yeah.
We thought the barn was completely prepared water wise. We drained the pipes. Well, one of the pipes still had water in it, and so boom, it exploded. So I mean, the
Yeah.
chicken, the sheep, the turtle, the lizard, everything has an issue, and it's the responsibility of the owners, no question, but it doesn't mean that it's easy. So yeah, it sucks, but
Yeah.
it's what we signed up for. So and the reality is that Wanda does 9/10 of the work over there. I mean, I'm trying to take care of the rest of the property, which doesn't, have a heartbeat. But yeah, it's tough.
Right. But you
It's
got to keep
the
fences
neighbors.
up and all that stuff.
Yeah, we've got our neighbor literally that lives next door lost probably 10 animals in the 3 day period, and we didn't lose one,
Yeah. That's
that
good.
we know of. So, I mean, hey, man, they're wild animals. They're sheep. They're six one, half dozen other, right? No, but they've got names, and so it sucks when you see them out and they're wild, and you can't wrangle them, and you just hope to God that they go down in the creek and get out of the cold. And so it's stressful. That's all. But
Yeah.
it's like it's what we signed up for.
Yeah, and but Tammy as well, texting her family back home in the Midwest, and they're trying to figure out how to get, they're trying to bring similar, like they, they don't have all the animals, but the neighbors have animals, and when the neighbor's cat is out, they got to come to her house, our parents' house, because that's the closest one, because the cat lives a mile away, and realized, like, I went for a walk and now I can't get home. It's like,
Rude. Where am I
yeah.
going?
Yeah, so there's a lot of that going on. And but anyway, everybody stay safe, stay warm. And I know everybody's situation is different regardless of where you are. I don't want to talk about what's happening here in California because it'll just make everybody mad, but
Yeah, don't just skip right over that.
just gonna
But
skip right
but
over it.
ironically, as I'm looking outside, it's supposed to be 65 today.
Yeah.
And then Friday it's supposed to get down to 20 at night again. So I mean, it's just it's a roller coaster. But it's like I said, it's what we
Yeah.
signed up. And the worst freaking part is I can't drive the Cobra unless I freeze my butt off. But
All right, you can't drive the Cobra, and we've got soon the 911 Turbo is going up on Bring a Trailer, and we've just been like getting the images together and getting the description together. So we'll make the announcement when it's done. It's submitted, it's good. I'm talking to Bring a Trailer guys; they're excited about it. It's such a cool car. Um, we just want to make sure everything is there in the description.
you can
Uh,
only do something once, one time,
yeah,
right? So I mean, yeah, we're making sure that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. And you know, you want to be as thorough as possible once you get it out there, and you don't want to have to amend it in any way. So, um,
Yeah, I want people to enjoy the auction. For everybody that just wants to hang around and watch and comment, we're going to be available for that. And then for those of you that want to bid, I think it's a cool car to get in on. And
yeah, and you better get in on it because the prices at Barrett over the weekend look pretty damn strong for these
yeah,
cars.
Barrett,
So, yeah,
Mecum, like the prices are there. So anyway, now's your
amazing.
chance. This is definitely one of those cars. The longer you wait, the more expensive it's definitely going to get. So, but also that makes it a pretty good investment car. In my opinion, you can't go wrong with good 911s.
No, and like I said, man, I'm ad nauseum. I'm going to say this again. The the longer I have this car during this process, the more I'm learning about it, and the more
Yeah.
I'm realizing what a freaking treasure it is to the true Porsche guys. I mean, it's really cool. The more I'm learning, the less I want to get rid of it. So we need to put this this back
we
up,
we should just
or I'm
do
going to
it.
keep the damn thing, man.
Yeah, we
It's
should just do it. All right, we're gonna do it. It's almost ready. We'll get it probably soon. I don't want to say when, but it's gonna happen very, very soon. So like a week or something. Like it's not gonna be
oh yeah.
like it's gonna it's submitted. We're just fixing a few things.
This isn't like me talking about one of the YouTube videos that are going to pop up in Goldberg's garage. This is actually going to happen here soon.
Yeah. Yeah. And we got some of the engine noises and stuff, but for videos for the listing that we
I
put
need to
together.
do the one of me walking around it though.
Yeah, we kind of need you like to do like the hosted video and tell your story of the car. So we need to get that, and then we're good to go. Everything is there. And you know what? You're right. As we started digging into the photos and digging in right in the description, like this, it is a cool car. You
It
you,
really
you,
is,
you
and I
realize
hate
more.
to say it.
Yeah,
I hate to admit it, but I mean the damn thing is cool as shit. I mean, and I've seen so many of them over the past 2 years because a car in your collection, similar ones that are out there for sale. You're curious, and I'm learning a lot about them, and they're a lot of fun. And it's a great niche of people that love these cars. And now I can completely understand what they've been talking about.
yeah,
Doesn't make it any bigger, but
yeah. It doesn't make it any bigger. That's funny. I forgot who I was talking to. I was just talking to somebody. Um, oh, my buddy Paul from Canada. He was at Barrett Jackson the whole time. He's got a great Instagram account because he doesn't bash anybody and all the cars or whatever, but he has such a good eye for detail, and he just does his Instagram stories. He doesn't make all the posts, so it's just for all of his friends, all of his followers, and he'll just every car that you think is questionable, may be good. He'll show you, and so many cars that you think are good are not. And he's just like, he's finding it everywhere, just trim pieces falling off and just like
Story of auctions,
I
man.
I gotta tell you, uh, I don't know what happened with that big Lincoln. It was like a green or bluish kind of Lincoln and went for $1 million. But that car was nowhere near $1 million. It wasn't good at all. I mean, listen, when you go to Barrett Jackson, you see a Bronco sell for 100 grand and you see one sell for 200 grand. What's the difference? The difference is it's got a full aftermarket chassis under it. It's got like a Coyote swap engine. It's not like a restored chassis with a 302. Like you jump the echelon when you're
Oh
doing
yeah.
full chassis. The Lincoln was just a rusted frame, no Art Morrison, no you know uh, aftermarket frame, no roadster shop frame, none of that stuff. It had like a Coyote swap engine or something in it, but that thing was rough. There was two people in the audience that really wanted this damn thing,
Man.
and I don't think they scrutinized it. But that also means there are some cars that went across that Barrett that were still pretty good deals. Like if you think about, you know, a lot of the guys that and girls that go to Barrett, they will buy a car going, it's a great build. It's a great rest mod. I'm going to take it. I'm going to put it home. But a lot of people buy the cars and go, I'm going to take it and I'm just going to do a few of my own things to it. I'm going to fix it up a few things. I might have to rewire it. Maybe, I'm going to personalize it, but I got a good deal on it and now it's going. But you know what's taken off over there? Still 80s and 90s cars. I'm not talking about the customs, the resto mods, the hot rods. Most of those guys are spending 500,000 building them and selling them for 130,000. That's fine. That's a great way to buy a resto mod. You want a full chassis car and an aftermarket engine, go to Barrett Jackson, buy your 69 Camaro, and then bring it home and knowing you're going to put 30 grand into it. But then you're into it for 180, not for 500, you
Exactly.
know? But the stock cars, like your Porsche would have done fantastic. 80s and 90s cars, Camaros, Mustangs, any of the specialty cars like a Celine or stuff like that, Corvettes, Cyclone, Typhoon, the Ram SRT 10, like all of those things were pulling money. These were just like stock vehicles people were bringing out there, and 80s and 90s cars are going. When we talked to Alex from Bring a Trailer, he's like, that's what's popping now. It was like a year or two ago is 80s cars. Now we're in the 90s cars and, starting to get into the 2000s. But when
It's
all
cyclical.
the,
It
yeah,
always happens
when
like
all the old cars get too expensive, we start looking at, what's out there. And um, so, yeah, I mean, if you went to high school and you were driving a 1990 IROC,
I rock.
and
It's funny how we both just cut out.
right?
Uh,
And now you're feeling a little nostalgic. Well, you better jump on that soon because those prices are going up. And
You know how much fun it would be to have just a stock iRock right now
totally,
and just build it up? It'd be awesome.
it would be fun. It would be fun for sure. Yeah, I think now's the time.
But
Uh,
see, now you're touching on what makes these cars special year after year is the feeling that the buyer had when he was a kid.
oh, 100%. Like every one of us sitting around and going, all we think about is the vehicles from from our high school days and our teens and early, maybe early 20s and stuff going, oh, these are the cars we grew up with and we drove. And, my friend had this in high school. And, that guy had this guy, this girl had that thing. That was cool. And anything, this cool van, cool IROC, cool Mustang, just any of that stuff. I mean, and you're right. So now we're like, oh man, I miss that car. It's completely impractical. But as, we age and, people are maybe a little bit better in a situation to go, you know what, I've got the family car, the kids are getting a little older. Maybe I'm interested and I can go into Ford and get myself a, another Mustang or Corvette or IROC or something or Camaro, like
And that's the
yeah,
times that we're dealing with right
yeah,
now.
yeah. But anyway, that's what this podcast is about.
Absolutely.
It's not just about llamas and sheep.
Oh God, yes.
Um,
Thankfully.
All right, so we were talking about Porsche when I saw this came up, popped up in the news, and this was kind of interesting. Is Times are changing. The uh, the Porsche 911 GT3, the GT3 RS, it's been a naturally aspirated car. It's been desirable, sort of, any of the GT cars, but the naturally aspirated ones are, the ones to get. But no longer. The GT3 RS is probably going to be turbocharged. It's what it's certainly looking like, and it's not just because it's not for them going, oh, we've tapped out. There's only so much power we can make naturally aspirated. That's not really the thing. It's more like how much power can we make naturally aspirated and still pass emissions? You know, UK emissions and just like worldwide. And that's what's happening kind of here is going, what, we have to make a more efficient engine, and that's where boost comes in, so you either have to do it these days with hybrid power, right? Like LaFerrari and
Mhm.
McLaren, and Corvette ZR1X, or you got to do it with turbocharging, or you got to do it with both. But anyway, this is kind of what we're seeing as far as what Porsche is going to be doing. And by the way, cool to see the spy shots, to see it testing on the track and hear it, and but it is going to sound different. It's
And it
gonna
is going to be about 400 grand.
Yeah, it's gonna be expensive. It's all gonna be
I mean, let's be
expensive.
honest.
Yeah, it's gonna be expensive. Um, but that's how things are gonna change.
So let's talk about change. And each week you send me these things that we're going to go over, and one that you missed.
Okay.
Freaking Genesis off-road, that 1,000 horsepower gimmick. Please
Yeah.
let's talk about that.
Okay. So it was just like a concept they put together. So Genesis put together this off-road truck.
Monster.
It looks more like a Dakar truck, and it's not a conventional pickup truck.
It
It's
doesn't look like a truck by any means.
Yeah, so when you look at what did Ford did something in Dakar, and I think they called it like the Raptor T1R or something like that. I don't know for sure. And it has kind of that kind of body style to it. So which implies that Genesis wants to do a certain type of off-road racing, Baja racing, Dakar racing. But what Alistair and I have been talking about recently is Genesis going all in on motorsports. They created that Magma line. Magma is like their AMG or BMW M or whatever, and they're coming out with street cars. Uh, but they want to win Le Mans. They want to build the prototype cars. The racing cars. They want to do motorsports. I don't know if they have an NHRA dragster out there with a Genesis body on it yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if they went down that direction.
Good for
Uh,
them.
but yeah, they want to get in on this for sure.
Please show
It
it.
was like 1,000 horsepower, right?
Yeah, please show it.
I'm gonna see if I can bring it up real quick. Genesis.
All carbon fiber looking, freaking beautiful. I mean, the thing's
Uh,
awesome. It's a Mad Max looking gimmick.
yeah.
I need one for the ranch.
All right, so they do have it on their website and their concept, which is good because that they're not just doing spy photos. They're like, this is what we want to do.
Freaking awesome.
I guess they got a bit of a video here. Yeah. You guys won't be able to hear the video, but on the Genesis website, there's a video. Let's see what they got. So we're kind of
Do the,
watching it, but this thing is cool looking, right?
do the black photo to the left, right there in the middle on the
Yeah.
sand. Enlarge that.
All right, here we go. Let me go back. Where'd that photo go?
There it is.
There you go.
Look at that.
Look at that thing.
That's freaking awesome. I don't care who makes it.
Yeah, this thing's a full like tube frame thing, but they're getting out there. Oh, this is the concept for like for an interior. Now, this is kind of cool because this looks like a production interior. I mean, except for the dash on the steering wheel and the passenger, but that's kind of nice looking for an off-roader.
Hey, bravo. All I can say. I mean,
I love this. They
it,
put the
it put a big smile on my face this morning when I saw that.
So the specs on it, I don't know if they got into the specs, but it's supposed to be over 1,000 horsepower V8. Oh, 1,100 horsepower. Uh, I don't know if it must be some kind of, is it going to be
Hybrid.
hybrid? Yeah, I don't know, but pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's cooler than hell. I mean, all I can say is that I will be following this build.
Yeah. Now, I don't know what any sort of production vehicle is going to look like, but if their intention is to go racing, to go to Baja and put this thing out there, this is a cool looking vehicle to see out on any racing environment.
Hell yeah. I mean, it's just, hey, it's thinking outside the box. It's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, that sort of implies that that brand is going to start to get into off-roading as well. So, anyway, very, very cool. I like that thing. Um, let's take
Thanks
a
for
yeah, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Oh man.
Okay, so the other thing that came up, we talked about this a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, was Ram teamed up with Fox Factory Vehicles, the suspension manufacturer, their like OE side, and put together a Ram high performance street truck. You know, it's lowered, it's got the Fox suspension on it. They put a supercharger or something on it. And uh, Tim Kuniskis, friend of the show, CEO of Ram, had said, the street truck market, when you look at, he even pointed out, like right now, the like car of the year is the Ford Maverick Lobo, which is kind of the lowered street version, has kind of a like a drift gearing in it and stuff. And, it's still meant to be fairly affordable. It's not 900 horsepower. It's a little 2.5 liter EcoBoost. But he said that got car truck of the year because there is an audience that's responding back to high performance street trucks and journalists looking at it. I've been a fan of street trucks for a while, but you know, I live in LA, so street trucks are kind of the thing. And he said the response for that truck was fantastic. And he expected it to be good, but I think it ended up being better than what he thought. I'm going to bring it up here again. So Ford's doing it as well. It's like Ford has like the Ford Racing Garage or whatever it is. And for so you can buy, let's say you get your Ford F-150, you get the V8, the Coyote version, and you can get the short cab, the two-door, or the four-door. And then you can go to your dealer, and for like 13 grand, they will do the lowering kit, the big supercharger Whipple, the wheels and tires graphics package. It's a turnkey solution from Ford with a warranty that your dealer can install, and it makes your 700 and I don't know 700 horsepower, 750 horsepower truck. It's kind of cool. So Tim Kuniskis saw that too. They did this truck. This is a badass looking truck, and now Tim is going. This was a good experiment with Fox Factory vehicles, but the idea of going, can we do this as an OE truck? Can we basically take the TRX with that engine, that's just that transmission, and all the good things of a TRX, swap out the off-road suspension, swap in a street suspension, and have a direct from Ram supercharged 777 horsepower beast of a vehicle. So I don't know. You're out there. You're on the ranch. I understand the off-road truck, but what do you think of a high-performance street truck coming from Ram?
I'm closely tied to the brand, and uh, the first thing that I can say is, what about Dodge? That's all I can say, right? They need to concentrate a little bit. They need to add a little emphasis on other things, I believe, than doing this right now. But uh, I think it's cool. I think it's a great idea. I think it's proven in the market. I think The SRT-10 truck is one of the coolest things that they ever did. This is a modern version of it,
Yeah.
kinda.
Yeah.
I still would rather have the old truck, SRT-10 truck, but I mean, there's a market for it, quite obviously. I wouldn't, I don't believe I'm in that market by any means, because I'd rather have the thing lifted and off-road suspension. Um, but hey, I think it's cool. I think it's a good idea. I just wish that they'd concentrate more on their other brand at the moment because it needs help really badly. So that's my first impression.
Yeah. Okay. And then the other part of that equation was Ram announced they are bringing back the TRX, right? The truck that you love. It's going to have more horsepower now. It's 777 horsepower. It's 680 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds.
Zero
Uh,
reason for me to trade mine in and get one because mine's already faster. Both of them are.
right. Yours are personalized or customized. It's not a
Well,
big leap in difference. It's not like, hey, it's a new body style and everything,
not even.
but it's just you got a guy like Kaniskas when he gets back, at the company and he's going, we understand we kind of flubbed the direction here, the previous guy, and he was going after all the tiny stuff and the no horsepower, and that's not the brand we built. So for him to make up for that, it's tough for him to like walk into this job and go, we made a mistake, we're going to fix it, keep an eye on us because we're going to build something new. And in 5 years from now, you're going to have something new. He doesn't have
And
that much time. So now he has to look at the low hanging fruit and go, give me the Ram truck. Let's do the TRX. Let's just bring it back. It's there. It's tested. Let's make some small improvements to it.
I
And
just wish they would have let Trossel or somebody do something visually as a big difference between the old and the new.
yeah.
That's all.
Now, when you're talking about Dodge, so the Charger, the EV, whatever, we're not even talking about the EV anymore, but they got the Hurricane V6s, and then he said a V8 would fit. But this is sort of the latest thought process that's coming from Dodge. They're going, well, the Hurricane 6 cylinder is 550 horsepower. So for us to put a Hemi V8 in it, doesn't make sense. We would just skip the
Oh yeah, it
V8 and
does.
go right to like the SRT. So if you want 550 horsepower, get the six cylinder. If you want 760 horsepower, get the SRT, right? But to start doing a whole lineup of V8s probably doesn't make much sense
Yeah,
for
that
them,
does. True.
right? And again, that's a faster way to get production cars, high performance production cars done. You know,
Absolutely.
because think
I
of
mean, hey, there needed to be a Hail Mary. And for them not to come out with the TRX with the V8 again would be a huge mistake.
yeah.
And yes, it was an easy fix. Well, we say. But yeah, but they really need to concentrate on their base
Yeah.
as a whole, as a brand.
Yeah.
That-
So the TRX is not going to be enough changes to justify for current owners, probably not going to upgrade. But for anybody that didn't get one and wanted one and is now shopping around for used ones or whatever, there is a
Depends
new
on the
TRX.
price.
Yeah, yeah.
Depends
Yeah, it
on the
depends
price.
on the price. Now,
Because the price is going to be uh, immediately uh, telling as to whether they're listening to their audience or not.
well, here's the thing is it can't really be less than what you guys bought your TRXs at. Now, the reason why is because then you get into my situation with my Ford Lightning is, this truck came out, it was 100 grand. And then when EVs started, you know, plateauing and less desirable, then they had to drop the prices. And then all of a sudden, people are buying my same exact truck 2 years later for $20,000 less money. And it completely destroys the value of my truck, right?
Mhm.
We had this big talk last week, Alistair and I, about negative equity being upside down on car loans. And a massive 29.3% of people in the United States now have negative equity in their cars. And the amount of money is not insignificant. It's thousands of dollars. It's like $7,000 of negative equity. we joked a little bit about Edmunds buying the Fisker and then the Fisker going out of business. So they bought a $60,000 vehicle. They sold for 15,000. But Edmunds is a massive company and that's part of their business. But for people that bought cars like that, this isn't that extreme. But yes, if you spend $100,000 on a TRX and they come out with one that's even slightly less, it's 89 grand, and you're getting the same trim options, it it does hurt the value of yours a little bit, for a lot of the people who bought it, it's
Okay, but
not
look
that
at the
big of a
big
deal,
picture.
but
But look at the big picture. What's the most important thing right now for the brand?
yeah, they need to sell trucks.
They need to sell trucks and they
Yeah.
need to bring the base back. They
Yeah.
need to do whatever they can do to bring the base back. Yeah, yeah. As an owner, I'd be a little bit pissed off if you could buy the new one a little bit less than, but I'd understand it.
Yeah.
I'd understand that it's a decision that had to be made. I don't know.
An interesting thing though is when Kaniskas was talking about like the high performance street truck version and he had the four door out there, there's a big audience, like I don't want to say big, but there's definitely a really loyal niche audience of truck owners doing high performance two door short bed
Oh yeah.
trucks, right? So when Ford does their aftermarket package, that supercharger kit package, you can get it on the two door or the four door. You can get it on any one of the F-150s as long as it has the V8 Coyote engine in it. Kaniska said, "Now there's not going to be a two door version of the high performance truck. It's only going to be the four door." And it was very simple. Somebody asked him why. He said, "Because we don't sell any two door trucks." It's like, that's it. At the end of the day, it's just, you got to make a company that's going to make some money. And it's like, there's just no money in it. We don't sell two door trucks. I mean, there's that niche that would probably like it, but he's like, we don't sell any. And I was like, all right, that's what I like about him. I like about him. He's like, nah, we don't do it. We don't sell any. Move on. Next question.
Mine. Yeah. Sure.
Okay. And then, one other thing before we wrap up. I don't know if you saw this, but at the Quail, I think it was last year and the year before, Singer had their big booth and they're saying, listen, we're done with that first production build of the 911s and whatever that we were doing. And then we did the DLS and now we're going to do the turbos and now we're going to do the DLS turbo. And the very first production, the customer car has been made. I guess it's been delivered. I don't know if he owns it now or if he's just doing press with it, but
I want to know how much it was.
oh,
Because
yeah.
it's absolutely gorgeous.
It's
There's no,
cool. Yeah. It's definitely screams like Porsche 935
yeah,
vibes. I probably would have went with more of like the HRE like 935 style wheels on this particular car. If I was the owner and I was specing it out, that's probably what I would have gone with. Um, the DLS program is their dynamics and lightweight study, which sounds like it's a concept car, but you buy the DLS cars. You'll see them pop up at auctions and stuff now. RM had them. Graham Rahal Performance. Graham Rahal's like aftermarket dealer that he's putting together. That thing has been taking off, and he's been getting a bunch of like Singers in there, really cool cars in there, McLarens. His business has been growing. I saw in an interview, he's like the dealer, his his like I don't want to say it's a used car dealer, it's a specialty dealer, and it's a shop that does stuff. They can do some modifications, they do some personalization stuff, they do of course ceramic and the PPF. I think he said that dealer did $100 million, or it's on track to do $100 million this year. So that's a hell of a business he's built there.
yeah,
But I don't know. Look at this thing. This thing is
gorgeous.
just gorgeous. Every one of these things is just an amazing piece of artwork.
It
Oh,
looks to a point like the Ring brothers got a hold of a 911.
it really kind of does. It's really starting to look like that. But the attention to detail, the craftsmanship, I mean, it looks like it's there. I have not driven a Singer. I don't know that I would have spec'd this one out with such the big wing, the big
No.
racing wing. I kind of like it just with just sort of the whale tail wing, like a Porsche 930. But this thing is cool. And you kind of look at the photos and it looks like it's blue, but I don't know if it fades to black, which is kind of badass, if that's the way it looks, or if that's just the way they lit it for this thing. But I think that's the way it looks. I think it fades to
It's cool. I would
blue
have
to black.
rounded the fenders in the rear a little bit better for
Well,
me.
so
But
this up here is this is all Porsche 935, right? This is Adam Carolla's racing car, his Hawaiian Tropic car. So they try to sort of body, like 930 front end, 934 front end with 935, you know, rear. But I mean, look, they did a good job. I personally like the 930 style. They did their uh their other turbo cars that way. Uh, I don't know if they have them on their website, but if I find a picture real quick, I'll show you what I'm talking about. But I like, I mean, I like the 935 style. I just don't know if I don't know if I love it as like a street car, in my opinion. Let's see if I can find there. That's the DLS Turbo. Yeah, so I just kind of like the turbo. Here's it's like this fender in the rear,
yep,
you know? Like I like this
yeah, there are
classic
subtle.
turbo,
Yeah, that's cool.
and I like it
Very,
with that wing.
yep, 100%. Beautiful gauges.
Oh yeah, I mean this car is stunning. I mean, good luck keeping that interior clean. This one with the cream interior that they have on the website. But go to the Singer Design website if you're not looking at it here with us on YouTube. Click on the classic turbo. And I just think for me, that was the car. We were talking about like the cars you grew up with or the cars you would see in the era of cars. And this is the era of car. Like Porsche 930 for me was like the pinnacle of street car. It was
Cool.
such a cool piece. A guy in my neighborhood down the street had a 930, and it was just the coolest thing. You would love it. It was black on black. He would take it out every once in a while, and it was just the coolest thing to see. But yeah, these guys are doing an amazing job. But anyway, that's cool car, cool spec. A couple million bucks. I don't know. Is it 2 million bucks now? The Singer Turbo DLS,
I'd say, yeah, probably.
right? It's probably 2 million because the Singers are selling for $1 million now. Like in the aftermarket, all the previous ones before the turbos came out, those are $1 million cars, all day long. They're $1 million cars, and they're worth it. It's amazing now how, we were saying there's so many hot rods, custom cars that are built, and you could spend 500,000, $800,000 on a custom build. Then you see it at Barrett Jackson for 200. And that's kind of to be expected. There's just sort of the whole process of being involved with the build. But seeing cars like Singer probably trading for more money than they sold for. And this is like sort of a specialty car company, if you will, where every car is personalized. Every build is a commission. They sit down with the customer, it gets a name, it's all different. And yeah, like you got the money, you're gonna go spend $1 million on commissioning a Singer to get built. Chances are that's gonna go up in value. That's
Oh,
tough to do for one-off cars, if that's what we're calling them.
yeah. Dave, quality, man. You get what you pay for.
Yeah, they did such a great job on building the brand, building the image around the brand,
Hmm.
right? Who is involved, and I think I still think Marino Franchitti is like one of their test drivers because Dario is working with Gordon Murray, right? And his brother is working with Singer.
Nice.
Yeah. Who's got a
That's
better job than those two guys, right?
no one.
Seriously. All right. Um, I know you got some stuff to take care of, and Wanda's texting you to go fix the plumbing. That's freezing over. So we're gonna wrap things up. Thanks, buddy. Have a good
My
time.
pleasure,
Stay warm,
man.
and we'll see you guys next week. Until then, keep the air in the spare and the bag in the wheel.
Blah.